in your finger and show them no mercy. Put them both in total skull and out of the state.
Barrackpore!
Put our country together again.
You ready?
Put them out of power to be deterrent. Let's put our country together again.
A round of applause for our DJs. They're with us everywhere we go. To all the people who are watching us on social media, on Facebook, special good evening. I need to ask Barrackpore to guide me. Because this week's live videos was a roller coaster. Somebody tell me it was 2 love sessions sandwiched in a street fight. So I want to ask you, all you wanted, loving or fire? So I'm not giving all the love, so I give all the fire. Fire for them. You're seeing what building here. You see it. The party is growing at a clip. There are people who came here tonight, they couldn't stay, they're going back tomorrow. They came from Canada to come, to be a part, to make a donation, to buy a t-shirt, to take some selfies, to say, we in the PEP, and they're gone back. The party have big roots abroad and here. It's growing. People are coming on board this movement because they sense it's not just politics. These are people issues. I'm going to touch on everything Shamla alluded to because that's the start and the end of everything that we do. But I want to give a big, massive round of applause to all these ladies and all these gents on this table here and all the work that they do and their contribution. The people who did this, our new feather banners. I mean, I look around, I see red, white and black. The party is a party. Win Barrackpore, win Barrackpore. When I saw the PNM in Barrackpore, when I saw UNC went Lavantel, this party going everywhere. One people under one flag. That's where we need to be. They've led us astray. Now I see the babies, so don't panic. We G-rated. But you all know if I pause in your mind, fill in the blanks, right?
Where the cup? Bring out the cup.
I didn't bring it. Bring 4 for me. See me. Where Rudy Paul? He gone. He whipped them into a frenzy and gone. Marshall? Rudy have a crop of passion fruit. That's why we bring him. We have a passion for passion fruit. The people of Trinidad and Tobago, what has been done to the people of Trinidad and Tobago for the past 50 years can be symbolized by the drive down that road that I drove to come here. It is an insult to the people of Barrackpore that that is your road. It is an insult to the people of Barrackpore. But for 50 years, ministers of works sat down in Port of Spain. They come from South. All the prime ministers, we have one from like Lekoto, he said, Mason Hall. One come from Mason Hall, the rest come from South. And like they just catch Port of Spain-itis. They reach Port of Spain and every minister of works forget. There are people in Barrackpore, contracts hanging out like rain. Where your sidewalks? Where your streets? I know communities down south now get street lights, now get any electricity. That is madness in a country that has spent trillions of dollars. It is an insanity that this has been allowed to continue. It is an insanity that the choices has always been vote race. Because even if you vote for your own race, you ain't sure to get what you're supposed to get, but you ain't getting less than you normally get. That is nonsense. How is that who we became? Somebody tell me, like a flock of cobalt, pee on Trinidad and Tobago. PNM and UNC, PNM and UNC, PNM and UNC. You ever get a government yet that stop and say, you know what? People first. Yeah. You ever get a government do that? This mocking pretender. Those are all good words, eh? the Likoto Jambi, he come back and he tell people he going and fix the Red House and build a house in Tobago for the Prime Minister because they have nowhere for them to stay when they go there. Keith Rowley, keep going how you're going. You're going to build a house in Tobago you will never live in. I promise you that. The people will vote you out. They will vote you into oblivion. We need a government that comes into power that understands the important things. Home ownership. Every single person in this audience here tonight, those watching that are in Trinidad and Tobago, those who want to fly out and go into our next man land like Ken and Tony, that and other people who that is their story, know, they know. Riyadh here tonight, my partner here, who get make a 5 days in jail for trying to say, who feel it? No. Who feel it? No. Our people have never been treated like the government serves the people. That have to change. The Progressive Empowerment Party want to go into the parliament with a broom, a mop, and a bottle of black disinfectant. We come in with bleach. We're going and scrub the nonsense away. When we're done, because they tell you, you are entitled. All your PEP members not nice, nah? Rowley, they bring something for you. They say, that's you. The truth. Home ownership. Home ownership. All of you who watched the video last night, watch me do some arithmetic. I catch my tail. I count sums like that since school. The first $5 billion that they spent on the rip-off, the theft, the two governments, the two of them, two sides of the same coin, all the people tie up like market crab inside Clico, take $25 billion of the people's money and hand it to a company and say it as a bailout. I asking one question to all the, Shamla referred to the people who have degrees. The parliament have more degrees than a thermometer. I want them to explain to me how a company that capitalized for $25 billion, that means your business, this what worth, there's everything it have and everything, how all the $25 billion gone? And nobody in make a jail. What is the supervisor of insurance work? If he didn't see that coming, fire he one time. Because the job description is in the title. Supervisor of insurance. Clearly somebody wasn't supervising. Central Bank Governor, what's his work? How could a company collapse and cost this country $25 billion and nobody in the central bank see it coming? How that money move? People talking about they can't get US. You know why you can't get US? All them bandits that thief all that money in corruption through Clico, through CL Financial, in PNM and UNC, and all the banditry, you're watching what's going on with the boat. They can't find a place to say this where the boat come from, this who own it, this the office. Nothing. Lie after lie after lie. Thief after thief after thief. And all the people money jumping up, burying barrels in people's backyard, and they smuggling it out of Trinidad. How it going? US. Somebody tell you, Tobago don't want $80. Had to be US. They're buying up the US by grab to go. You see, they have companies in Trinidad like Massey and Hatco and Amco and all of these companies that make billions of dollars importing food, don't want you to grow food. They don't want you to grow food. Because that gravy train done. If you bring in $5 billion worth of food and you mark it up 100%, you make $5 billion. So they don't want the PEP to come along and take away that piece of food. So they don't like we. So they're spending money. Spending money. They're paying these token heads now to come and attack we. No problem. We will take it in stride. We will take it in stride. Come down the crease selector. Bring the ball bowler. We will hit you for 6. Bring them. Come better, you know. Don't send Corn Beef Man and Samson Anton and these jokers. Come better. Come better. Call, you stand up and talk. Rudolph, stand up and talk. Or let's stop playing hide and seek. The people of Trinidad and Tobago say they want representation. And if you don't give it, fire yourself. Fire yourself. They have a word, fire yourself. Dave, this prop coming in handy. Home ownership. The first 5 billion of the 25 billion, they tell we the thief. Borrow, take, bail out, whatever the word you want to use. The first $5 billion would have created, would have built 100,000 houses. 100,000 houses could house half the population of Trinidad and Tobago. Now you tell me, we have people squatting. We have people living in mud and water. We have people where these nasty mucking pretenders say they're building in lagoon. We have people living in very difficult circumstances. And not one of these governments, I don't care what they tell you about your tanty and your nanny and your poopa, you know. Because that didn't help you when they was in power. Not one of these governments have said, we set aside $5 billion for home ownership. Because the Progressive Empowerment Party's policies are very simple. Rebuild the community and rebuild the country. A nation is a collection of communities. If all our communities are thriving, our nation will thrive. If all our communities are safe, our nation is safe. If all of our communities are prospering, our nation will prosper. Simple arithmetic. Start here. Come right down in Barrackpore. Can tell you if you want to serve. Because the people that we building out on our teams, on our constituency teams, this is not just for old talk and posing. These are transition teams. Shamla is part, Anne-Marie is here. These are people who are part of our advisory council, who from day one, when we hit office, we say, this is how we're going to do it. If the Progressive Empowerment Party was the government, there would be a supervisor of public works for Barrackpore. And they would have been funded. So you wouldn't have to worry and wait for Rohan Senadan or whoever is his replacement when he fly out to Panama when that boating bus. Because your supervisor of public works here would have a fund here for your roads and sidewalks here. And every other community would likewise. And that would allow for billionaire and trillionaire contractors becoming overnight celebrities and posing with the stars, paving and building everything throughout the country. In your community, there would be contractors who would be put to work. Your community would advertise, would you like to be a contractor? Get in touch with us. Because the law will say, the contractor must come from here. So they can't come from outside and build your road. And they can't come from outside and build your pavement. And that is how you get government to represent the people. And a Progressive Empowerment Party government, our first policy will be to make sure that everybody who wants a job could get a job. And everybody who has a job that wants to own a home could get a home. Once you take care of those two things, you could forget about the rest, you know. Hope and opportunity. You've heard people say that. That's our two pillars. No lie. Hope and opportunity. Once you know that if you get a job, the Progressive Empowerment Party's policy is a simple policy. We're not giving the houses away, you know. We're not doing like them and thieving $5 billion and giving it to financiers and saying, go with that. We are providing finance. But the experience and the science shows that poor people and hard-working people pay their bills. They're not looking for handouts, you know. Poor people, hard-working people, salt-of-the-earth people, you help them own their home, buy their home, they will be the first in line to pay that mortgage every month. That is a fact. So that money is safe. The money in Duprehan is safe. That money safe. And when we tell you zero deposit, we say that for a reason. Because any of all here who ever tried to buy a car, or to buy a truck, or to buy a piece of land, when you go and you sit down in the bank and you realize you gotta get that lump sum. That's the first obstacle. And to us, that's an obstacle to progress. People should be able to progress. Home ownership is the linchpin of a proper functioning society. If the vast majority of your people are capable and able to own their own homes, all the other problems solved. We have a transient nation, people born in Barrackpore, grow up in Arima and reach Diego Martin. Because they can't own a home where they live. And people don't want to leave their community. I born and grew up in Woodbrook. I still remember, I will always remember. I talk about it every chance I get. I really know. I wish we have to stop running the country where people have to react to their life instead of plan and live a life. This is a wealthy, blessed nation. Rudy tell you, Shamla tell you. You spit 2 seed in the ground, it grow. Blessed by God. Blessed. Every other country that you go to, no matter how well they're doing, they're managing problems. People just tell you, Holland, they have no crime, they have no jails, everybody get managed well, no problem. But in Holland, they're under sea level. And they're managing their water so they don't flood. We're not under sea level, but if tide rise and rainfall, bring out your boots. Because for 50 years, we've had governments who pretended rain every time it falls. This is a new experience. We've never seen this magic before. Water is falling from the sky. What do we do? That's how they've moved. Ask yourself, how could we be a functional nation capable of dealing in billions and trillions of dollars, and every time rain falls, it floods? Madness. And for 4 months out of the year, when the rain not falling, we're missing the flood because it's drought. Madness. Not one of them has thought, wait, how would we save this water, this magic that's falling from the sky, for the time when it not? Not one. Not a single government. We've known forever that we need a dam and retention ponds. That's the solution. New Orleans and Holland, they will come here and they will do it for you. Dams, retention ponds. We don't even need locks. Locks are things to keep the water out. Our water not coming in. Our water falling down. So we just need to manage it, store it, keep it, to use for another day. If we have too much, we can send it away. But we need to be able to prepare and protect. Not a single government for 50 years has thought to do that. We've built foolishness, pie in the sky projects, spent 10, 15 and 20 times their value. We've built stadiums and hospitals we can't use and do not need. We've spent billions of dollars on sappers, nappers and tappers and nobody knows why. Nobody knows why. You swear the amount of Cineplex this country have, Trinidadians only like movies. We have Sapper, Napper, Tapper. We have 5 stadiums so far that I'm aware of. It could be more. And I don't hear about a football game every single weekend. The 2 biggest football clubs in Italy, AC Milan and Inter Milan, they share a stadium. We have more stadium that we could use. Lekoto Jambi going and build our next one in Diego Martin. We have more stadium that we could use. We don't use them, they're falling apart. Manny Ramjohn, Atto Bolan, go in them stadium and see them. Go and watch what's going on. Here's the Crawford GP, whoever they call it now, they're changing name every week. Whoever they call it National Stadium, when you go in there, you see that only exists for one thing, to give party financier wives contract to bring down chair and seat and power wash. That's what it's for. A source of funding for the investor class and the financer class, and we need to deal with all of that. So I want to say to you, and I want you to understand, and we're coming into office to say, home ownership, proper education, proper health care, affordable food, security. That's all you need. You don't care what the government do after that. Rowley and Kamla could fall in love and get married. You wouldn't care. You wouldn't care. Because you own your home, you could raise your family, you could afford to live, you're safe. Somebody bust their toe, they bust their head, the hospital, 3 minutes down the road. Your children going to school and you know if they are studying, well, you can deal with that. But you know the school is not the problem. A nation that has an exam called the SEA. And the SEA is a lie. And it is child abuse. And we've said that. And now everybody realizes child abuse. No problem, welcome aboard the PEP. But we said it. Let's act on it. They're talking about it. Even the Archbishop said, this is child abuse. Children telling you, this is madness. Listen to the children. Out of the mouth of babes. The SEA exists for one purpose. To take all 20,000 children and try and cram all of them into 6 schools. Whatever overflow also ran. How could that be an education policy? How could they pat themselves on the back and say, we're building school? You're building school that's not working. You're building school and all the children failing. You're building school and children graduating functionally illiterate. We're making security guard, KFC cashiers and bandits. What is the point of your school if it's not working? The Progressive Empowerment Party says, and we will take $2 billion and build 205 brand new schools for the 200,000 children that need schools and make them 10-year schools. Remove the SEA. Where you live, where we help you buy your home, is in that community. 2 blocks down the road, your children going to school for the full 10 years of their scholastic career with a grade point average. And that grade point average, they've known and seen. Success leaves clues. You could Google it. You could Google GPA. Phillip didn't make this up. It exists. It works. If your child has a GPA every term, you check and see how they did. They're improving or they're not. And if they're not, you're going to see the teacher. And if they're improving, you buy them a cupcake and ice cream cone. Shambler, really and truly. This whole community, like, is just ready to party. We party and non-stop in the car. While they play music in church too, right? We're ready to just party. But with a grade point average per child, this happens. This is the important magic of a grade point average. Because your child have a GPA. Grade point average, your child did 3.2. The national average is 4.4. The teacher in the class, all 25 of the children in the class, their collective GPA, add all together, divided by 25. That is the teacher's GPA. So you will know every term if your teachers are performing. And all the classes that make up the school, 4 classes perform, 10 forms, 40. 40 GPAs added up and divided gives you the principal's GPA. And all the schools in the constituency gives you the constituency GPA. And it's important that you understand the science of this. Because if the national average per child is 4.4 and your school doing 3.2, the supervisor of education, we say that we will put a board of supervisors in your community. The supervisor of education must go to the schools and find out which school underperforming. And when they find the school that underperforming, they need to find which classes underperforming. And in those classes, they could talk to the teachers and find out which children are underperforming. And then we could get social services involved to find out why. Because nobody is stupid. Everybody is intelligent and has potential. We just have to know how to unlock it. We cannot have a one-size-fits-all and expect it to fit everybody. Some of us chunky, some of us skinny, we will live. We will make sure that the things could fit everybody. And that is a policy that works. If we say we want to give you a hospital in your constituency, we want to build 41 hospitals capable of handling minor surgery, tonsillitis, appendicitis, setting bones, them kind of thing. Normal everyday thing. You're working and your finger cut off. You grab your finger, you run by hospital. So this background there for me now. But you don't have to try to find a taxi to take you to Mount Hope. By the time you reach there, the finger spoiled. Cancel back. And I'm laughing, but that's serious too. Your health care must be within a couple minutes of the emergency or it fails. That's international benchmark, best practices. It's a standard. And we could have built 41 hospitals in every constituency for $1 billion. Instead, we got one Hoover hospital that they can't use, and that nasty politics prevented them from opening, making a mockery of the people of this country. And that is why we need you to get together and get your family and your children and your neighbor, everybody get registered, get ready. Tell them an election must come, and when it comes, we will vote them out. We will vote them all out. We will clean house. We will throw them away. We will fire them. We will fire them. Well, they're getting good at this. Just now, we are on an election campaign, you know. That's what we're doing here. The other two parties they realize, but the PEP in election mode, you know. We're going to every constituency and every community, sharing this message of love and hope and opportunity. We want to bring our people together and give them a view, a vision of a Trinidad and Tobago where everything works. The only thing that works right now in Trinidad is the record. Nothing else works. This is a nation where if a bandit breaks in your house, you ain't sure if to call the police or not. That's all right. You ain't know who to trust. It's our reality. You're dressing in the morning to go to work. You're watching your family. And you know you're sure to see them when you come home this evening. Things that's happening in this country so simple, so quick, so easy. Madness. The Progressive Empowerment Party speaks about building a maritime security wall that shuts this nation's borders down 3 miles out. So no more cocaine, no more drug trafficking, no more drug barons, no more guns, no more human trafficking. We will move the port from Port of Spain, where all it does there is cause traffic and madness. Put it in Point Lisa's 4 or 5 times the size of what we have now. Unstuff every container. So no more marijuana in the chicken and drugs in the dog food and guns in the dog food now. When you could stop all of the smuggling of arms and ammunition, then the police could start to do their job. I tell police officers all the time, if you get $1,000 for each gun you bring in, he said, boy, buy now, pick up. Wheelbarrow of gun, boy. Police could be living nice. Because the Prime Minister didn't tell the population how exactly he knows this. But he says that he knows that there are 30,000 illegal guns in Trinidad. So the police check that out, 30,000, $30 million. Phillip, voting for you. We want that money. Yeah? But we have numbskulls in office. We have mocking pretenders, foolers and posers, blue light-itis drivers. They're just there for the line. They're representing a bandit class. It is hard to accept that every interlocking part of this country, all of the important offices of state have been corrupted, have become part of a contractocracy whose job it is to enrich fat cats who live in nice, who sharing pictures on social media that their daughter in Paris and their son in Hong Kong. The hell you get that money? You driving Bentley, man buying house in David Martin West, where I am from. There is a place called Factory Road where you can't give a house away. Nobody wants to live there. They have hotspots, at risk, and then they have Factory Road. And people from Factory Road know what I'm talking about. And in that same constituency, we have apartment buildings with apartments that sell more expensive than anywhere else in the Western Hemisphere. We have apartment complexes where an apartment sells for $23, $25, and $30 million. An apartment. And we have people buying that. Buying that. People with names like Junior and Senior. Joke and fun aside. The reason that you all are out here tonight, besides hearing about me and the nonsense that I talk, you all are here because you want a better Trinidad and Tobago. And you believe that this is possible. And you think that you are entitled to it. So we've said, let us come together. We are going to prove a point just now. Very soon, I'm giving them a heads up. Lekoto Jambi, this for you. We're going to call for a national shutdown. We're letting people know. We're going to teach the country how one people under one flag works. We're going to show people how their vote, their labor, and their consumption is the true power of Trinidad and Tobago. And the moment they taste that power and they see what it does to the bandit class, everything going on change. Yes? We want a better Trinidad and Tobago for our children. Yes? We want a better Trinidad and Tobago to grow old and safe and secure. Yes? To the people, we have family who go on. My brother living in Canada, I see him for about 15 years. I want my brother to come back. We want a Trinidad that's safe and secure and working well, like the foreign companies, our family, for foreign countries, our family living in. We want them to come back. Yes? We have to get together as a people. We have to stand together as a people. No more must political parties divide us. No more must they be able to tell, sorry for shouting, no more must they be able to tell you that your race determines your vote. That foolishness have to go. Have to go. I am telling you, tell them, you know what, I don't like Phillip Alexander. I want to vote for you still. But I want you to promise me that you will give us housing policies where the average person, a minimum wage earner, can own a home. Because if they tell you no, but they're willing to take your money and give it to fat cat finances and corrupt businessmen and politicians, common sense will tell you that it is time now. We, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, fired all of them. The future for Trinidad and Tobago looks very bright. An orange sun is rising. You see it? You feel it? People talking about it. They're stopping me everywhere I go. People taking selfies like I'm a celebrity. Hey, slow that. Slow down. I'll tell you why. Because I don't want my head to get any bigger. That's one. And two, you don't want celebrity politicians. You want servants. If you elect me to office, I will serve you. I offer my country 5 years of my time and that's it. After that, I want to go and see some stuff. But you want people that will serve you. You want a prime minister that you could call him on the phone and say, it's still flooding. All that talk, you come down Barrackpore and talk and it's still flooding. Wait a minute. I watch a man go point 14 and sit down on the podium and cross his leg with a fancy earpiece and talking at the people. And I say, but only in Trinidad and Tobago, because people suffering, you'd guess some rotten grape breadfruit and grapefruit if I was in our audience. I'm serious. I ain't showing it, I'll have it. But true talk, serious talk. The future we want, it's still here, it exists. The potential for a better nation is real, it's within our grasp. All of us together, we need you to come on board. Shamla spoke about our agriculture policy, and I would like again to give a round of applause for the person I twisted her arm for my Minister of Agriculture and Food Production, Shamla Maraj. Because we want a marketing policy that is driven by the farmer, by consumption, by data. You hear how she talk? We know. We could sit down and forecast. Trinidad need 20,000 plantain, 50,000 baigan, 100,000 breadfruit. Let me grow that. All this land that growing razor grass right now, and there are farmers looking for land to borrow, to rent, to buy. What are we doing? This can't continue, and it won't continue. the Progressive Empowerment Party, she says, I want you to know, we've said agriculture and tourism are two of the pillars of our diversification trust. She said both of them dovetailed and combined could be a #1 money spender for Trinidad. So why are they not doing it yet? It's either they're stupid or they don't care. And either way, we have to take medicine now. Somebody told me last night, PNM is the disease, UNC is the relapse. PEP is the cure. It is time to apply cure. It is time to apply cure. Get ready. We are building an orange army. Get ready. Every citizen of this country has rights, and we will make sure that if you give us a chance, we will make this nation the pride of every other country in the world. Yes? Thank you very much. Great, look at prop.
All right, guys, give it up for Phillip one more time. Yes. Lots of sense, lots of sense, lots of sense. All right, guys, we're going to be doing an open mic. We do want to hear from you. We want to know your thoughts. What's on your mind? Do we have another mic? 2 minutes? All right, so in the next couple of minutes, guys, we're going to be doing the open mic. And again, sit down, you think about what's on your mind. What do you want to have addressed? What do you want to hear our spin on your thoughts? What you think affects you directly. Alright? So give us a couple of minutes.